The story begins with a man running through a dark forest. He's hurt, and it's clear someone dangerous is chasing him. After running for a while, the pursuer catches up and a violent fight breaks out. Then the scene shifts, and we're told that the FBI reports about 1.4 million violent crimes every year in the United States, which is just their way of saying, stay home, folks. Next, we meet Maya and her boyfriend, Ryan, who are on their way to celebrate their 5th anniversary. As they drive, they get a little too romantic and nearly cause an accident. Luckily, the other driver stops just in time. Shaken but relieved, Ryan uses his inhaler, revealing he relies on it regularly. They drive further, leaving behind the city's signals and discovering a signboard for Venustown. Curious, they take the turn and stop at a local cafe. While parking, 2 local men watch them from a distance, making things feel a little eerie. Inside the cafe, they order food, lots of it. Ryan insists on a vegetarian feast, despite Maya reminding him to order sensibly for their journey. He counters, saying it's their anniversary, so he deserves to indulge. While they enjoy their meal, they meet another couple, Neil and Eden, who are celebrating their 2nd anniversary. Things get a little awkward when Maya notices a missing person poster on the counter for a man named Jeff. The waitress mentions Jeff had visited the cafe before disappearing. Ryan, trying to lighten the mood, jokes, "Well, good thing I didn't order what Jeff had. I don't want to disappear too." The cafe owner laughs nervously, saying Jeff did order the same meal, but Ryan and Maya shrug it off and leave. When they get back to their car, Ryan tries to start it, but the engine refuses to cooperate. He keeps trying without success until a man named Rudd appears at their window. Coincidentally, Rudd is a mechanic. Just like how a cat always lands on its feet, a broken car will always summon a mechanic out of thin air. Rudd offers to tow the car to his nearby garage and promises it will be fixed by tomorrow morning. When Ryan asks where they can stay tonight, Rudd mentions that all the motels in Venustown are closed for repairs. However, he suggests they stay at a local Airbnb owned by someone he knows. For those unfamiliar with Airbnbs, it's a place where you can stay with all the comforts of home, food, drinks, and sometimes even ghost stories. Ryan and Maya were at the Airbnb, but something didn't feel right to Ryan. He pointed out how strange it was that the same 2 men who had been staring at them in the cafe were now involved in their journey. First, the car broke down, and then Rudy the mechanic conveniently showed up. Maya, however, dismissed his worries, saying the people seemed kind and unlikely to scam them. Ryan, although skeptical, agreed with her, just like how we trust a stranger with a smile, but hesitate with one carrying a toolbox. The cafe owner, Shiley, offered to drop them at the Airbnb on her way home, as it was her day off. On their way, 2 kids stopped them, handing over a card and asking if they had committed any sins. Ryan quipped that everyone makes mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, a fact Shiley seemed to agree with. They soon reached the Airbnb, thanked Shiley, and went inside. The Airbnb was beautiful and cozy, making Ryan and Maya very happy. Ryan started unpacking their food and beers, but realized the fridge wasn't working. Maya called the Airbnb owner to report the problem and requested someone to fix it. Meanwhile, they sat outside under the stars, enjoying the peaceful surroundings. Both agreed this was shaping up to be their best anniversary yet, just like how every vacation feels perfect until the fridge stops working. Later, feeling romantic, they headed inside to get cozy, but their moment was interrupted by a loud knock on the door. When they opened it, a girl was standing there, her face obscured by the darkness. She asked if someone named Tamar was inside. Ryan and Maya denied knowing Tamar, and the girl left. Ryan was puzzled about where she could have come from since there were no houses or streets nearby. Shrugging off the incident, they resumed their evening. During their conversation, Maya revealed she was ready to accept Ryan's marriage proposal now, though she had declined it 5 years ago. She also shared her plans to take a job in Portland, hoping they could live together there. Suddenly, Ryan asked about his inhaler, and Maya mentioned it was likely in the car. Ryan decided to go back for it, spotting an old bike outside that he could use. He reassured Maya he'd return quickly and left. While waiting, Maya began chatting with her friend over the phone. But then, there was another knock on the door. Assuming it was Ryan, she opened it. But it was the same girl from before, again asking about Tamar. This time, Maya felt scared. As she stood frozen, she noticed someone else entering the house. Another person, someone she didn't know. Panic set in when she realized these weren't isolated visitors, but a group. One of them, apparently named Tamar, had slipped in without her noticing. Maya sat in shock, unsure of what to do. Suddenly, she heard the girl's voice again, echoing eerily through the house. Just like how you can hear the ice cream truck when you don't have cash, the timing couldn't have been worse. Maya was starting to feel uneasy. She checked the window but saw nothing, so she sent a voice message to Ryan, telling him that the strange girl from earlier had come back. To calm herself, she stepped outside for a look but didn't find anything there either. Frustrated, she came back inside, lit a cigarette, and played some music to relax. Just like how we think loud music can chase away ghosts, it can't, but it's worth a try. Meanwhile, Ryan, who had gone to fetch his inhaler from the car, was having his own trouble. As he grabbed the inhaler, Rudy, the mechanic, appeared and acted rudely toward him. Not wanting to escalate the situation, Ryan took the inhaler and left. On his way back, he picked up some burgers for Maya. Back at the Airbnb, Maya was trying to unwind. She was playing the piano when a masked figure appeared behind her. But just as she turned to look, the figure vanished. Feeling on edge, she decided to take a bath. Little did she know, the masked person was watching her from outside the window. When she turned around, he disappeared again. Just like playing peekaboo with a toddler, except way scarier. After her bath, Maya came out to find the lights had gone out. Grabbing a flashlight, she cautiously moved around the house, hearing strange noises. She opened a closet and was horrified to find a girl wearing a mask staring back at her. Panicked, Maya ran into a room and locked herself in. The door rattled as someone tried to get in. To her relief, it was Ryan. Ryan asked her what had happened. Maya told him about the masked person she had seen. Together, they went to find the fuse box, and Ryan got the lights back on. Maya insisted she had seen someone, but Ryan dismissed it, saying it could have been a painting she saw in the dark. He noticed she had been smoking and teased her about the strong cigarettes, suggesting they might have caused her to imagine things. Maya knew it wasn't the cigarettes. There really was someone in the house. Their conversation was interrupted by another knock at the door. When they checked, they saw the same strange girl standing on the road. Ryan decided to confront her, but she ran away before he could catch her. Brushing it off as a prank by a teenager, they returned inside to eat the burgers Ryan had brought. As they started eating, red liquid began dripping onto the table. They looked up and were horrified to see a dead bird hanging from the ceiling, blood dripping from it. Just like a surprise piñata, but way less fun. Now certain that something sinister was going on, they quickly locked the door. But their terror was far from over. A masked boy appeared outside, wielding an axe, and began breaking down the door. Moments later, two masked girls came down the stairs, one of them wearing the same mask Maya had seen in the painting earlier. Panicked, Maya and Ryan locked themselves in another room. The masked boy started chopping through the door with his axe. He stopped midway and left, leaving them thinking the danger had passed. But deep down, they knew the nightmare wasn't over. Just like when a horror movie character says, "It's safe now." Spoiler, it's never safe. Ryan and Maya knew they had to escape quickly. Ryan suggested they use the bike outside, but when they reached it, they found the masked man had already set it on fire. Just like when you finally find a taxi in the rain, and it drives off with someone else. Realizing they needed another plan, Ryan remembered that the house belonged to a hunter, so there might be a gun inside. They sneaked back into the house to search. As they moved around quietly, Maya accidentally stepped on a nail. She managed to stifle her scream, and Ryan carefully removed the nail, wrapping her hand with a cloth. They decided to leave through the vent and headed toward the storage cabin, hoping to find a gun there. On the way, Ryan tripped and sprained his ankle. Despite the setback, they managed to make it into the cabin, where it was pitch dark. Maya lit a lighter, revealing that the masked girl was nearby, though the couple couldn't see her. Just like playing hide and seek, except you really don't want to find them. Ryan looked out the window for a weapon and saw the masked man watching him. Grabbing a gun, he fired a shot, which scared the masked man off temporarily. Maya and Ryan started moving back toward the house. On the way, Ryan saw someone he thought was the masked man and shot him, only to discover it was the Airbnb owner, who had come to fix the fridge. Horrified, Ryan found the owner's car keys and urged Maya to escape with him in the car. As they drove away, the masked man appeared and rammed their car, destroying it completely. Ryan told Maya to run while he tried to confront the attacker. Despite his efforts, the masked man got away, leaving Ryan wounded. Maya hid in the forest among the trees, but the masked girl appeared. Luckily, she didn't see Maya and wandered off. Maya found a working phone in the Airbnb and tried calling the police, but the poor network made it difficult. While searching for a signal, she stumbled upon a skeleton, likely the remains of a previous victim. Just like when you clean out your fridge and find something that expired in 2019, it's horrifying, but you can't look away. Before she could react further, the masked girl attacked her and knocked her unconscious. Meanwhile, Ryan was searching for Maya when he encountered the masked girl. He pointed a gun at her and demanded to know Maya's whereabouts, but she wasn't intimidated. Soon, the masked man appeared, overpowered Ryan, and knocked him out. When Ryan woke up, he was tied to a chair next to Maya, who was also bound. Trying to lighten the situation, Ryan asked Maya if she would marry him. Maya, showing her courage even in this dire moment, said yes. Just like proposing in a fancy restaurant, except this one had ropes and murders instead of candles and music. Their moment was interrupted as the masked people entered. One of them knocked Ryan to the ground, chair and all, leading to a devastating turn of events. Trapped and powerless, their story seemed to be reaching a grim end. It was Maya's turn to face the masked attackers. Summoning her courage, she asked, "What do you want? Why are you doing this to us?" The masked girl coldly replied, "We're doing this because you're here. We kill everyone who comes here, just like your boss asking you to work overtime simply because you showed up to work." Then, the masked man stepped toward Maya, pushed her over while she was still tied to the chair, and she hit the floor hard. But before they could do more harm, the sound of police sirens filled the air. Startled, all three masked assailants ran off into the night. The scene shifted, and we saw Maya in a hospital bed, alive but battered. She slowly opened her eyes, taking in her surroundings. Everything seemed safe, until she noticed a scarecrow-like figure wearing a mask lying ominously beside her. And with that creepy revelation boom, The Strangers, Chapter 1 ended. Just like when you think a horror movie is over, but it leaves you with nightmares instead of closure.